Well, okay, in this video, let's go ahead and grade the assessment that you just did, and I'm going to try my best to explain why the answers are the way that they are. So for number one, use trigonometry to solve for x and y. Round your answers to the nearest tenth. For y, you should get 20.3, and for x, you should get 29.2. Y is opposite the 44 degrees. 21 is adjacent to the 44 degrees. X is the hypotenuse. So it is appropriate to use tangent to solve for y. Tangent of 44 degrees is y over 21, opposite over adjacent. Remember, when we set up a trig function, we always place it over 1 to create a proportion so that we can use cross multiplication. So y is equal to 21 times the tangent of 44. Plugging this into the calculator and then rounding to the nearest tenth gives us 20.3. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So the cosine of 44 degrees over 1 is 21 over x. Cross multiply. This becomes x times the cosine of 44 degrees equals 21. Then we have to divide both sides by the cosine of 44 degrees. So x is 21 divided by the cosine of 44 degrees. Plugging into the calculator and rounding gives us 29.2. And so that's the complete solution for number one. Number two, use trigonometry to find the measure of angle A. Remember, in this class, when you find an angle measure from A, you're always going to round to the nearest whole number. 44 is opposite angle A, and 125 is hypotenuse. So the measure of angle A would be the inverse sine of 44 over 125, which actually gives you 20.6, but that justifies us to allow us to round up to 21 degrees. And that's the complete solution for number two. Question number 3 came straight out of lesson 8.1. So if you remember the formulas for geometric means out of that lesson, you'll do this quite well. 12 is an altitude, so 12 squared is equal to 16 times x, which means that x is 9, and the entire hypotenuse is 25. Y squared is equal to the 9 times the entire hypotenuse, which is 9 times 25. The square root is going to be 15, so y is 15. Z squared is equal to 16 times the entire hypotenuse. So the square root of that gives us 20, so z is 20. Lastly, how tall is the tower in feet? Round to the nearest tenth of a foot. Well, h is opposite the 60 degrees. 1,000 feet is adjacent, so the tangent is the best way to solve this problem. Tangent of 60 degrees equals h over 1,000. It's okay to plug this in your calculator, but in class we also put our tangent steps that we learned into our journals. And so if you've memorized it, the tangent of 60 degrees is the same thing as the square root of 3. So we can replace this with the square root of 3 over 1, and then cross multiply. So it turns out that the exact height of the tower is 1,000 times the square root of 3 feet. Plugging that into our calculator gives us 1,732.1 feet. And these are the complete solutions to what you just did. God bless you, wherever you are today.